This is what you use to achieve your dream to fly. This is the shelter that you run towards when the week gets boring and the weekend arrives. This is the Ducati 959 Panigale.
The intersection of my deepest needs. You were there, I knew, now you know me. But when we met, I swear I came alive. My heart turned to jelly and I'm googly-eyed.
Now, I don't think I need to convince anyone that this fiery, red-hot beauty standing in front of me is every bit as charming to look at as is perhaps Nicole Kidman in a red dress. It has a very clean design philosophy, and you have this curvy fuel tank and a big fairing up front. Despite those clean lines, you feel that this bike gives a very aggressive look when it's standing still. It's no surprise that this bike is powerful and it just flies. It's got a 955cc liquid-cooled L-twin engine, and that is capable of producing a whopping 150 horsepower at 10,500 rpm and 102 Newton meters of torque at 9,000 rpm. But do not be afraid, because this bike does have enough meat in the low and mid-range that when you are accelerating, you get enough power and enough torque to pull you through. And reaching 100 kilometers from a standstill is no problem for this bike. Another mention must be made about the 6-speed transmission. The gear shifts are butter smooth, and you also get Ducati's quick shift, which means you get clutchless shifts for a quicker acceleration. Of course, if you're going fast and you're taking corners at high speeds, you would need a lot of grip, and you get precisely that with these 17-inch Pirelli Diablo Corsa tires, and they are very good on the track and in the city. They provide a lot of grip. You get a 120 by 70 at the front and an especially wide 180 by 60 at the back. Ducati has mounted dual 320mm semi-floating discs up front with a radially mounted Brembo monoblock, and at the back you have a 245mm disc with 2-piston caliper. And this bike gets Bosch ABS as standard, which is all great news. You also have traction control and you have engine braking levels as well. While these brakes are plenty for stopping this beast, it is a bit of a shame that the test bike that we had did not have the brakes tuned in the best state. Despite its sports bike nature and how it is largely meant to be tested out on the track, it does fairly well in the city as well because of the suspension. You get fat forks from show up front, and you have a monoshock, and the suspension setup is fully adjustable, so you can adjust it to your liking, to your preference. And even in the stock state, it is quite good for the city and also for taking those sharp turns and accelerating without feeling that the bike is going to go haywire. I did have a problem with the switchgear on the Panigale. These switches, while they are completely functional, are not the best. For example, you tend to accidentally hit the pass-by switch and the turn indicator seems a bit out of reach. Sometimes it's quite hard to press as well, and the toggle to change between the different display modes aren't the smoothest either. What I did like, however, was how you start the bike. So the engine kill switch is hidden behind this switch. You just flip it up so that starts the bike, and then you can press this. The aggressive riding position definitely makes this bike a hard sell for city rides, because you're almost always leaning and you have a lot of pressure on your wrists, and your feet are all the way back due to the rear set foot pegs. And also with the high octane performance of the engine comes the high octane heat, which can only be countered if you are going at high speeds. Ducati very well knows the kind of power that they're putting in a common man's hand, and that is probably the reason why they have priced this bike quite exquisitely. At 14.53 lakh ex-showroom Delhi, this bike is out of reach for a lot of people, and that's okay because only a few are worthy enough to wield such power. The bike undoubtedly offers explosive and in-your-face performance, and it is a beauty to look at as well. And there's no doubt that it will charm all those who are around you. Yes, this bike does have a few niggles and you need a racetrack to fully explore the potential of the 959 Panigale. But hey, going at 200 kilometers an hour, you forget about all the flaws. That was all for now, and now it's time for me to go and enjoy the Ducati a little more. But you guys know what to do till then. You can like this video, you can comment if you have any questions, subscribe if you haven't, share this with your friends, and until the next time we meet, stay safe.